Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Canto 5, Creative Impetus, Chapter 18, Prayers offered to the Lord by the residents of Jambu Dvipa. Text 25.
Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhyatmaya Namaha Sattvaya Pranayaujase Sahase Balaya Mahamatsyaya Nama Iti.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of God. He is pure transcendence. He is the origin of all life, bodily strength, mental power, and sensory ability, known as Matsya Avatara, the gigantic fish incarnation. He appears first among all the incarnations. Again, I offer my obeisances unto him. So, Prabhupada quotes from Jayadev Goswami's Dasavatara Stotra. Like I said, it's good to know this Stotra. Keshavedrita Nina Sharira Jai Jagadisha. And in the middle of the paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says the word Sattvaya is used here, meaning pure goodness, on the transcendental platform. There are many incarnations of the Supreme Lord: Varaha Murti, Boa form, Kurma Murti, the tortoise form, Hayagriva Murti, the form of a horse, and so on. Yet we should never think any of them material. They are always situated on the platform of Shuddha Sattva, or pure transcendence. So if you look at the verse itself, there the Lord is described as Sattvaya, pure transcendence, Pranaya, origin of life, Ojase, the source of the potency of senses, Sahase, origin of mental power, Balaya, the origin of bodily strength. Right? So, and the first thing he says is Mukhya Tamaya. Okay? So there's 6 qualities one can say is been mentioned. And particularly Prabhupada emphasizes Sattvaya. And he also saying Mukhya Tama, first incarnation. Sattvaya is, he wants to make sure that we understand that the Lord is not material, always transcendental. So his emphasis is, first we have to accept the Lord as transcendental. Not just say, okay, this is his quality and so on. Once we accept him as a supreme person, then it's easy to accept all his other qualities also. Otherwise there's a tendency to minimize the Lord's position. Text 26.
Antarbahishchakila lokapalakair Adrishtarupo vicharasyrusvanaha Sa Ishwarastvam Yayidam Vashe Anayam Namna Yata Darumayi Narastriyam.
My dear Lord, just as a puppeteer controls his dancing dolls and a husband controls his wife, your Lordship controls all the living entities in the universe, such as the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Although you are in everyone's heart as the supreme witness and commander, and outside everyone as well, the so-called leaders of societies, communities and countries cannot realize you. Only those who hear the vibration of the Vedic mantras can appreciate you. Kunti also says the same thing, same kind of thing. Where even though he looks like an ordinary person, he's like an actor dressed as a player, like that. A similar prayer, but again, because he looks like an ordinary person, people always take him to be ordinary also. And so he also says avajananti mamutta, right? That when he comes and does his pastimes, they fail to see his supreme position or transcendental position. Some of the reasons people don't see him as supreme are what? What are some of the reasons? Enviousness. What else?
4 types of people.
Yeah.
4 types
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buddhas, Naradamas,
Maya
Maya Paritagyan,
Asuram.
and Asuram
Bhavam
Bhavam Ashrita. That means they are atheistic, totally negate, don't accept. Buddhas are just foolish. And then Maya Paritagyan means even though they may have,
PhDs, big PhDs.
yeah, but still they cannot accept someone can be better than them. And then Naradamas are lowest among men. Prabhupada says 95% of the population are like that. Naradamas. Okay. In the purport, Prabhupada highlights that the living entity is always dependent. One way or another, we are all dependent. Do we agree with that statement? Right? No? Are you independent or not dependent?
Dependent.
Dependent, right? Even though we have our own bank accounts or whatever, we still depend on the bank. Payments, even if you have so much money, you are always dependent. This morning the power went off.
Yeah, 2 times, 2, 3 times.
Yeah, so then you're dependent on that power. In the old days, they were not dependent on all these things. They used to they had what you call outhouse, where they went to do their cleansing work, and then they had another place where they took bath, usually a shed or something. So usually, they usually use a candlestick or something like that. In India, we do that, but not here, because the power that goes off in India is so often. So it's like you just take a torchlight and go, or a light, a hurricane lamp or something like that. So we are always dependent, whether we believe it or not. We are always dependent. And another point Srila Prabhupada highlights is the Varnashram system is created for what purpose?
So that
Yeah.
consciousness.
How is it elevated, the consciousness?
Because they are following dharma.
Slowly purification come, and then they get to the point of a liberation just for the purification process if it followed properly.
Properly, but to some extent yes, but unless it is Devi Varnashram, then they will have a wrong conclusion. So it is made to raise the consciousness of the practitioner. And what is the ideal understanding of the practitioner?
Everything belongs to the Supreme
Yeah.
God, and they perform yajna and sacrifices.
Yes, and they are actually servants. Yeah. So that's what Prabhupada says in the next paragraph. Third paragraph, last paragraph, beginning of last paragraph. Self-realization means to understand one's subordinate position in relation to the Lord. Meaning he is dependent. When one is thus enlightened, he surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is liberated from the clutches of the material energy. It is a given fact that we are always under the jurisdiction of the energy, material. That's why we are like puppets under the. And then a few lines down, where the Vedic mantra confirms Eko ha vai Narayana asit. Foolish persons think Narayana to be on the platform of ordinary material existence. Because they do not realize the natural constitutional position of the living entity, they concoct names like Daridara Narayana, Swami Narayana, or Nitya Narayana. These are all meaningless names. However, Narayana is actually the supreme controller of everyone. This understanding is self-realization. It's one of the understanding. First you have to accept Narayana's position, who he is, Supreme Person. It is not that you practice and then only you accept Narayana. No, you have to first accept first, then practice. The results will become manifest. Means you are accepting his position, you are taking a humble position. You cannot demand Narayana to show you that he is Narayana. Okay? We demand, no? If we don't have proper understanding, we demand. Who is Krishna? Why is he supreme? He come and beats up us, then we will like say, okay, the strong person always wins in argument, Text 27.
Yam lokapala kilamatsarajavajvara hitva yatanto api pratak sametya cha patum nashekur Sharish prapam stanu yadatra drishyate.
My Lord, from the great leaders of the universe, such as Lord Brahma and other demigods, down to the political leaders of this world, all are envious of your authority. Without your help, however, they could neither separately nor concertedly maintain the innumerable living entities within the universe. You are actually the only maintainer of all human beings, of animals like cows and asses, and of plants, reptiles, birds, mountains, and whatever else is visible within this material world. Who's doing the prayers?
Residents of
I attended up to that.
is Shiva, right?
No, it's not.
Ketumala Varsha.
Ketu.
No, they're praying to who?
Lord Matsya.
Matsya. So who? Manu, na?
Vaivashvata
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys forgot already.
How Vaivashvata Manu is it mentioned?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The verse we covered yesterday.
So here,
Ramyaka Varsha. Ramyaka Varsha.
So here it is said, it's an interesting prayer, right? Because he says that Brahma and other demigods, down to the political leaders of the world, all are envious of your authority. Yeah. Why is that? Why does he say like that?
Because everybody feels their control.
Yeah, in one sense, yes. They all want to be controllers, actually. They want that power to, and they are not so happy if someone has a controlling tendency, or someone is in charge and you are not, then you don't feel happy. Unless one is a devotee, all these positions are maintained by envious people. That's why you see in our countries, world, all these leaders and so on, they are all envious. Insofar as it doesn't hurt their position, they will be nice to you, politicians. But as soon as it encroaches on their happiness, so-called happiness or sense gratification, they will show their true nature. So that's why he says like that. Not that he says Lord Brahma is envious. People who occupy those positions are not devotees, then they will be envious of Krishna's authority. Devotees naturally are not worried, right? They don't care whether they are in heaven or hell. They just want to serve the Supreme Lord. So that is the difference. Okay, so or otherwise we will think, wow, Brahma is also envious, but our Brahma is a devotee, so therefore he cannot be envious, right? We understand like that. So in the last sentence of the first paragraph, Prabhupada says, unfortunately their meager efforts, either singly or together, do not solve anyone's problems. These are people like Bill Gates, who's the other guy? All those
Warren Buffett.
All these, they talk highly of philanthropical activities and so on. But they're really not approaching the real problem,
Root cause.
right? Why people are suffering. They're thinking if you do a band-aid kind of solution, everyone will be happy. But actually nobody gets happy, If you go to the third world countries where people are really suffering, if you dig a well and they get all nice water, that only solves one aspect of the problem. Then they will ask for other things. In general, if people get all the basic necessities, they can be satisfied if they have the ultimate goal in life. Very simple lifestyle. All they know is how to please Lord. They are satisfied. But if you don't have a goal of life, even giving them the self-sufficiency is not going to make them happy, because they are always going to look at something else. And they say, "Wow, they have this, I don't have." Sometimes you have never had it in your life. And then someone all of a sudden brings a cell phone, and then and you are like, "What is that?" And it's interesting, but because we are bound by the three modes of material nature, that desire is invoked. The senses agitated. They want to experience that new, and it's interesting. That is why we have to control the senses.
That's what Mama Dev says, right? When he's offered 3 steps of life, he said,
"Don't give me more than."
Because even if then I want more. Even if I get 9 islands and all 14,
I won't be satisfied. So this is what we are seeing in society. Even if you go to a new group of people in South America, they've never seen. But when they see all these shiny trinkets, just like when the conquistadors, right? When they came to South America, Mexico, and they conquered, they started giving them things that they never seen before, and they tricked them into selling vast properties for one jug of beer and stuff like that. That's how they did their tradings and so on. They cheated like that. So once your senses are overwhelmed, your rationalization cannot take place. Yeah. So therefore, either singly or together do not solve anyone's real problem. Prabhupada highlights that. And of course there are foolish spiritualists, right? Deepak Chopra pretends to be a spiritualist. Yeah, it's true. He thinks he can help people understand the spirit and so on, but they're all impersonalists, and they don't really understand real spiritual topics or in depth. He says his guru is what is that? Mahesh Yogi. Mahesh Yogi. But they're also the same, right? They were all just making money only.
Yeah.
TM, no?
Transcendental. They separated.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't make enough money, you separate. So then they claim to know about in this case Prabhupada talks about some of these impersonalists who call Narayana Daridara Narayana. Yeah, that makes no sense, because if he is a lot of everything, how can he be poor? So they come to this kind of conclusion, saying that because we are all God, so we have come to this world, sometimes we suffer, so we are suffering Narayanas and happy Narayanas. So the question is, if you are God, how can you be overwhelmed by material energy? Very simple thing. One time...
Their thinking is like the Supreme Lord is on the side of the poor people, the most needed. That's why... That's
another way a group of people think like that. The impersonalists, they think like that. They think, I am God, you are God. So if I embrace due to my past actions, the karma is acting on me. So now this body is supposed to be poor. So I am still Narayana, but I am a poor Narayana. That is the conclusion. But doesn't make sense. If you are Narayana, first of all, how can you be overwhelmed by material energy? So they give all kinds of word jugglery to say, yes, they can be captured. Empty pot in the sun, so the sunlight goes into the pot. Therefore, that is the sun is in the pot, and so that is how they argue. So you have to be very careful how you talk to them. So therefore, Mahaprabhu says, these people, if you hear them, you go crazy, run away from them, or jump into Ganga. So in the middle of that paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidaditi Karma. One person, the Supreme Lord, is supplying the necessities of life for all other living entities. Sounds like one of those Bollywood shows, like Kamsa suddenly comes and right? Sounds like that. Nitya Nityananam Chetana Chetanana Seko Bhavanam Yovidadati Kaman. Among so many eternals, the Vedas, everything is given by the Lord Himself. So He Himself says, everyone is eternal. So among all the eternals, there is only one eternal who can actually supply every other and maintain others. Who can say that? Nobody can claim that position. Therefore, the statement is Eko Bhagunam Yo Vidadati Karma. Whatever desires one has, karma, he can fulfill that desire. Okay. So, and therefore it becomes natural for demonic people to argue against that, because they cannot accept that there's one person who can have that ability, that potency, that supreme power. In their field of existence, they have not seen that. Or they have experienced, that if you do yoga,
No, but he needs to.
He has to put.
Oh, till what?
yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So they have experienced that when they do yoga based on the Vedas, that they can achieve superhuman potencies. So they feel that they could actually go beyond, the existence. So they don't accept that it can be God. So people like Hiranyakashipu, even his brother Hiranyaksha, they were looking to fight with the Supreme Lord Himself. So you can see the level of understanding. That means they were so convinced that simply by doing their karmic yogic activities, they will get the power to
Something else. I think it got cut. Very soon, yes? Oh, so you can't hear it?
Because if you put
Can
it
come
mute
mute from
here,
here.
he has to put it in mute.
Yeah, tell him to put
You
mute.
put yourself mute, okay? Because I'm hearing kids' voice.
No, right now.
Now it's okay?
It should be okay. Fix it later.
It's not mute, right?
No, he has to
No,
put on.
unka mute.
Otherwise, I'll hear everything they talk, even breathing. So finally, in that paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, Shukadeva Goswami tells how Lord Brahma and King Indra became puffed up and were eventually chastised by Krishna. So, to give an example, remember I said Brahma is a pure devotee, so he cannot be envious. But there is an example of him getting envious or like that in the 10th chapter, canto, where he knew the Lord, right? He invited the Lord to come to the planet Earth to help. He knew it was Krishna, yet he doubted it. And then and not only that, he challenged. Yeah, so therefore he was, when you doubt someone, you challenge, there is some enviousness in there. Yeah. Same with Indra also. How, he was too proud, so he became envious in that way. So, of course, they are all very exalted personalities. They were all actors in Krishna's Leela.
So Prabhu, even in this world, if somebody thinks by their efforts they got the results, that's also kind of atheistic mentality, right?
It is enviousness. Yeah, it is. How can you... We are not... unless it's with Krishna, you cannot do anything by yourself. It's just karmic forces. Piety and so on helps you to progress. Impiety brings you down in life. Past karma traps you for certain reasons and so on. because it's so complicated. Even sages cannot explain sometimes why you're suffering like that and another person is not suffering, because it's too complicated. It goes through billions and trillions of lifetimes of karmic forces. Something you did maybe when you were amoeba when you are some human billions of years ago may affect you now. Yeah.
But Prabhu, behind karmic forces also we should think it's sanction of Krishna.
Yes, always sanctioned by him. He'll say, okay, it's ready now, you get this reaction. Like that, It's like he's always there to guide us, but if we don't listen to that guidance, then he sanctions the forces. There is a seed behind there.
No, I'm trying to help. If you can, Mati, can you the book one?
Okay.
Yeah, the whole book. Except the book.
Reader?
What? Oh, you're doing something. Would that help?
Get that. I get it.
Take
No.
this big pillow of this. This big pillow.
Yeah.
You need a box.
Yeah, yes, take it.
Take big pillow, Prabhu.
Good, bro.
Okay.
You type then.
I just hope it doesn't crash.
Huh?
Just hope it doesn't. Text 28. Text 28.
Bhavan Yugantarnava Urmi Malini Shomim Imam Oshadi Virudham Nidhim Maya Sahoru Gramate Aja Ojasa Tasmai Jagat Prana Ganatmane Nama Iti
O Almighty Lord, at the end of the millennium, this planet Earth, which is the source of all kinds of herbs, drugs and trees, was inundated by water and drowned beneath the devastating waves. At that time you protected me along with the earth and roamed the sea with great speed. O unborn one, you are the actual maintainer of the entire universal creation, and therefore you are the cause of all living entities. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So here he is thanking the Lord, when when the small fish came, we will come to that later in the next few cantos. He comes as a very tiny fish, and then he starts growing. So eventually he tells him what the reason for his appearance, and then he protects him in the ocean, devastation, ocean, water of devastation, like that. So, in a sense, from reading like that, we may think that it is so much in awe and reverence like that, but there's a lot of love also there. He's like, you are my actual maintainer, so there's a lot of, you can say, like a child looking up to a parent, like that, like that. But people cannot appreciate that. So Prabhupada says that envious persons cannot appreciate how wonderfully the Lord creates, maintains and annihilates the universe. They can't accept that. Therefore they are always looking for reasons to deny the existence of God by doing research in various ways, out into the space, looking for creation, how it started, or looking through the various species, or digging the ground, looking at bones to say where creation came from, like that. Just because they don't want to accept the position of God. Just like I was mentioning, in England they had the Darwin's group. Because they don't want to accept that, first they deny the intelligent design group people from speaking at all. They can come for the meeting but cannot speak. But they were discussing among themselves only. So you can see that when we are not able to surrender to the Supreme Lord, then, as we have understood throughout our discussions from Canto 1, that the Lord's energy therefore withholds, and his material energy takes over. Okay, So when the material energies take over, it operates on the body itself, including the mind, which are all made up of matter. So therefore your senses and mind gets agitated. And once it's agitated, you cannot come to proper conclusions. Not possible. Okay? In a nutshell, that's what it is. Not possible to come to proper. To understand and appreciate the wonderful quality of the Lord, you have to always surrender to His devotees. There's no other way. Just like the mantras say, right? No other way, no other way. No. Same thing, no other way. Text 29.
हिरण्मये अपि भगवान् निवसति कूर्मतनुं बिभ्राणस्तस्य तत्प्रियतमां तनुम् आर्यमा सह वर्षपुरुषैः पितृगणाधिपतेरुपधावति मन्त्रम् इमं चानुजापति.
Sukadeva Goswami continued. In Hiranmaya Varsha, the Supreme Lord Vishnu lives in the form of a tortoise, Kurma Sharira. This most dear and beautiful form is always worshipped there in devotional service by Aryama, the chief resident of Hiranmaya Varsha, along with the other inhabitants of that land. They chant the following hymns. Now, Priyatama, Srila Prabhupada emphasizing the purport to highlight to us that each devotee regards a particular form of the Lord as most dear. Even Krishna's form also, there's so many pastimes of Krishna, but the devotees, each individual devotee likes a certain pastime more, a certain devotee relationship with Krishna is unique for them. Some like him when he is dancing on Kaliya, some like it when he kills Putana, some like it like that, and some like it in the Rasa Leela, some like it so all that are there, and that's how the devotees sing. So therefore, when we read here Priyatama, that is a tortoise, you may think, but actually that tortoise is not ordinary tortoise. It's so beautiful. The description of the tortoise in the 8th canto, I believe, it's very, very beautiful. Big lotus eye and smiling, and he appears like a tortoise in this material universe for a function. But actually in the Vaikuntha planet, he is four-handed. It's not like a tortoise and then everyone is little tortoise like that. It's not like that. Everyone is it's a four-handed form, Narayana like that, Vishnu Dutta form. And sometimes devotees think like that.
Everybody is a tortoise.
Yeah, and then in Matsya everyone is a fish like. Now, but what you can see also is all the forms, the original forms of any living entity is originally Krishna. Okay. Any form you think, the most gross form or most original beautiful form is there in this place. Yeah.
Very beautiful description.
Yes, exactly. Vara, right? Third canto B, right? It's unimaginable because it's really, really beautiful. But when you see a pig in Vrindavan wallowing through the canals and so on, you cannot understand where's the beauty, right? Because we are not at the grade or level to appreciate what the wonderful devotees in each of these varshas are talking about, right? So each of us have a certain form that we are attracted to, and the Lord therefore comes in different forms just for the sole purpose of attracting us back to Godhead. Some people are attracted to the most ferocious form, which is Nrsimhadev. Yeah. But then others are not. They like different forms. You go to different part of the world, like in China, we found that they all liked Nrsimhadev form. Just like they just took the Nrsimha form, just like that. They like that. South India also, I don't know. I won't be
South Pradesh.
Our home deity is Nrsimhadev.
But I'm saying is how attracted they are. That's my point. Certain
mostly
group of people are attracted.
If you see all these temples in Andhra, Narsingha Kshetras, they were remote and in the jungle,
Right.
where nobody can generally go. So they're most like The Sthala Purana says people used to go and stay there and meditate.
Meditate.
Yeah.
So they are attracted. Like, yeah. Like you go in the North India, mainly it's Ram, generally Ram avatar. Krishna only in Madhya Pradesh and UP area. Gujarat is baby Krishna. Baby Krishna. Yeah. So you can see even with Krishna they have. And then Balaji is considered to be like Dwaraka Krishna.
The Prabhupada said Balaji is the child form of Krishna.
Child form of Krishna.
Yeah, he said so.
Oh, Balaji.
But also the other statement Prabhu made us also
It's also
Very obvious.
is like a Dwaraka Krishna obvious.
Yes, he is.
And all the prayers to Balaji by the devotees are in that form. Krishna,
In that form?
Krishna or Rama, that like.
Yeah. So you can see, he comes in all these beautiful forms simply to attract the devotee, so he'll go back to Godhead.
Dwarka, this form is actually Trivikrama,
Trivikrama.
which is basically
Guru Vaman.
no, Vaman.
Yeah.
That form is Trivikrama.
I've never heard of that, but good to know. Text 30.
ओम नमो भगवते अकुपाराय सर्वसत्व गुण विशेषणाय यनु फलक्षित स्थानाय नमो वर्ष्मने नमो भूम्ने नमो नमो अवस्थानाय नमस्ते.
All this praise you all can use it and pray, nothing wrong. Oh my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you who have assumed the form of a tortoise. You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities and been entirely untinged by matter. You are perfectly situated in pure goodness. You move here and there in the water, but no one can discern your position. Therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Because of your transcendental position, you are not limited by past, present and future. You are present everywhere as the shelter of all things, and therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Because he is in the water, he also affects the living entities in the water, and so they also get purified when they come close to him or associate.
Like in the description of Matsya Avatar, it is
Yes.
described that all the aquatics they were
Yes.
so attracted by this form
Lord,
of the
yeah,
Lord,
they followed-
they followed him, and in this way they were all liberated.
Liberated, yes. So this is also how he helps other entities. When he comes in Hayagriva form, and then all the other animals that comes close to him, they get liberated. So the Lord takes different forms to help different species. Right? So it's amazing. Alright, so continue to 31.
यद्रूपमेतं निजमाययार्पितं
यद्रूपमेतं निजमायार्पितम्
अर्थस्वरूपं बहुरूपरूपितं
अर्थस्वरूपं बहुरूपरूपितम्
साङ्ख्यानयस्याति अयातोपलम्भनात् तस्मै नमस्ते अव्यपदेशरूपिणे
तस्मै नमस्ते अव्यपदेशरूपिणे.
My dear Lord, this visible cosmic manifestation is a demonstration of your own creative energy. Since the countless varieties of forms within this cosmic manifestation are simply a display of your external energy, this Virat Rupa, the universal body, is not your real form. Except for a devotee in transcendental consciousness, no one can perceive your actual form. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada discusses about, in second line, third line, a fire consists of three elements, heat and light, which are the energy of the fire and the fire itself. Anyone can understand that the original fire is the reality and that the heat and light are simply the fire's energy. Heat and light are the formless energies of fire, and in that sense they are unreal. So because fire has form, you can see, right? But it's actually giving light and heat also. Yeah. So that example he used to defeat the Mayavadis thinking that the law universal form to be real and his personal form to be illusory. Yeah, like that. And then towards the end of the paragraph, Prabhupada says, this inconceivable expansion of the Supreme Lord's energy is called Achintya Shakti, inconceivable potency. You cannot simply understand, by your simple mind. Therefore, no one can understand the real form of the Lord without becoming his devotee. So the only way to know the Lord completely is when you become, means what? You become?
Surrender to the servant of God.
Become his lover, actually. Devotee means what? To love the Lord, no? Unless you start loving the Lord, how can he show himself to you? We make it so, we think devotion means what? Sentimental, right? Go to temple, see and come back.
What about someone who's in awe and reverence?
Awe and reverence, yeah, still there is love. Awe and reverence platform also must have. You see, even Vaikuntha liberation is also still love of God, no? Yeah. It is not like it's no love, otherwise they cannot attain that position. Yeah? So unless you develop loving, that means you feel real affection for the Lord, you cannot really appreciate his forms. Not possible. We will. I remember reading in Prabhupada's Lilamrita when he went to Vrindavan where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was giving class. So then the conch blew for the arti. So many of his disciples ran. So a few of them stayed back to listen to Maharaj give class. Then he said they're all going to see a stone. You can't see, but you have to go through parampara as well as develop the affection. You have to develop affection through the spiritual master, which will then be transposed to the Supreme Lord. Yeah. Otherwise, we cannot understand all of these things. And in that sense, it's inconceivable. How he allows some people and not others. Right? The only thing is some people love him, some people don't love him. And they're in between. Don't know how to love. Like if you practice your sadhana bhakti, there will be a point in time where it should trigger affection for the Lord. It has to. If it doesn't, then we are at fault. That's the conclusion from the scriptures. You are supposed to be loving him. Huh?
You said in the Nectar of Devotion that some people can go to Raganuga, not everybody.
Depending on your desire in your heart.
The Raganuga is spontaneous, but I think what Prabhu is saying is that
so if you do just
even if with sadhana bhakti,
but we are not talking about those things.
We are talking about like glimpse. At least you would have some feeling, some kind of affection by practicing sadhana. Raganuga bhakti is completely different.
Develop those affection first. I want to do the service, and even if you are doing in awe and reverence, if your true position is at let's say in Goloka, that will come out. Doesn't matter, but that loving dealings must come first in service. Text 32.
Jarayujam svedajamandajodvidam Characharam devarshi pitrabhutamaindriyam Dyaukam kshitihi shailasarit samudra Dvipa griharkeshiti abhideya ekaha
My dear Lord, you manifest your different energies in countless forms as living entities born from wombs, from eggs and from perspiration, as plants and trees that grow out of the earth, as all living entities, both moving and standing, including the demigods, the learned sages and the pitas, as outer space, as the higher planetary system containing the heavenly planets, And as the planet Earth with its hills, rivers, seas, oceans and islands, indeed all the stars and planets are simply manifestations of your different energies. But originally you are one without a second. Therefore there is nothing beyond you. This entire cosmic manifestation is therefore not false, but is simply a temporary manifestation of your inconceivable energy. So everything has is real, basically. Alright? Even the material world is real. Only thing it is temporary. Yeah. And it's in flux. So Prabhupada writes in the almost in the middle of the paragraph, nothing is false, he says. One thing may be permanent and another temporary, but both the permanent and the temporary are facts. For example, if someone becomes angry for a certain period, no one can say that his anger is false. It is simply temporary. Everything we experience in our daily lives is of this same character. It is temporary but real. Right? And therefore, he wants to highlight that things are in the material world also. We may think, but it is real. They exist, but for a period of time. Even our own existence is temporary, because we are going to take on different forms and go on until we get out and go back to the permanent situation. And of course, in the verse itself, talks about how different living entities are coming. So we've read this earlier in the previous cantos, how living entities take birth in the womb, eggs, and perspiration. Perspiration, like those animals, like frogs, and some fish maybe. No, frogs maybe.
Frogs are born by eggs.
No, they form the kind of perspiration on the water. They blow a bubble like that, and then they lay the eggs there. Yeah. Like that.
Salmon fish.
Salmon fish. Eggs. They are considered
eggs, but it's in the form.
I think this mentions human perspiration. So even like there are insects which are born from.
No, insects are not like that.
No, there are some kind of.
There are bacteria and all these other living entities.
This Prabhupada mentions human perspiration.
Yeah, human perspiration.
In the purport he's saying.
Yeah, but also there's different entities also. Certain insects from here, but there are others also in the other places I've read also perspiration. So sometimes even bacteria, fungus, right? Have you seen fungus grow in the grass? Sometimes there's foam. No? You all don't do gardening? It's too cold.
You've seen fungus
You've seen food.
No, if you walk in, sometimes if you have flowering, if you do, you'll see sometimes there's some insects will come and then they will form, really like foam. And frogs also do that. Some other bugs also do that, and ants, they grow this. They take care of aphids, right? And then the aphids become cows like that for them, because the aphids can suck the juice of the plant and they excrete excess like sugar. So the ants take that as so they call it ant farm for them.
Never heard of
Yeah. So there's so many things, variety of things going on in the world. So like that, birds coming from eggs. And then mushrooms and stuff like that come from ground or decaying matter like that. So that various way you can see and understand here. But all this has been discussed earlier, in the previous canto. I just wanted to point out that this is how our whole existence is on so many different levels. And we shouldn't think that there are all these different ways of creation, right? Just like there's a saying, right? The scorpions come from
Rice.
rice, but actually that's not true, right? Like that. So everything is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like that. Yeah, it's interesting though, because scorpion from rice. People talk like it is a fact, I don't know how about you all, but when I grew up, people would be saying, no, you leave it too long, it'll become, ants will come, or some people will say scorpions will grow, stuff like that.
But scorpions lay eggs.
And then they hatch, and what these people, because eggs look like rice, right? And then you can't tell, and then the eggs hatch in the rice thing, so they think it's coming from rice if you don't use it. So it's interesting. So this is based on ignorance, that we think creation is just coming on its own, but actually no. Everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. Text 33.
Yasmin Ashankhyeya Visheshanama
Yasminnasankheya visheshanama
Rupakritau Kavivikalpiteyam
Rupakritau kavivikalpiteyam
Sankhyaya Tattva Paniyate
Sankhya tattva maniyate
Tasmai Namas Sankhya Nidarshanayate iti
Tasmai namo sankhya nidarshanayate.
O my Lord, your name, form and bodily features are expanded in countless forms. No one can determine exactly how many forms exist, yet you yourself in your incarnation as the learned scholar Kapila Deva have analyzed a cosmic manifestation as containing 24 elements. Therefore, if one is interested in Samkhya philosophy, by which one can enumerate the different truths, he must hear it from you. Unfortunately, non-devotees simply count the different elements and remain ignorant of your actual form. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So Prabhupada says, philosophers, scientists, they've been trying to understand the cosmic creation and so on, and coming up with different theories, but they can never come to the point of understanding that it's coming from the one source, right? Supreme Lord. And no matter what they do, they cannot control the laws of nature. That's the other point Prabhupada says. And it will continue going the same way, and yet they are trying to think that they can control. In trying to study all these laws, cosmic waves and all, the goal is to control actually. The whole idea is how to control.
Use for enjoyment.
I remember many years ago when I was a student, they used to say how they want to control the weather.
Yeah.
Big papers, summit, scientist meeting, and still today they are still trying to control it. And then even ocean, they were saying how they will make sure there's no big waves and stuff like that. Or when they need the waves, they will create to form the waves so that they can harness the energy and electricity from that. Like it's interesting how if you don't understand reality, one aspect of reality, we can pursue in an aimless way, right?
That's why their whole perspective when they analyze matter, it's quantitative, while Vedic is qualitative, because they want to take control over it. So that's why how powerful it is. But the devotional approach is, what is the quality, what is the nature of it? This is something you cannot surmount, and that's why you surrender. It's a completely different outlook.
That is true also. That's very true. We are trying to see where our whole understanding is there is a creator who has given this, and why did he do that? Because we are all
We are all his children.
we are his children, we are parts and parcel, we are servants, we are meant to go back, that's all. But if you don't have that, again it falls back into your senses and mind, and therefore it will say, I need to enjoy, because Anandam
Andomaya.
Yes, Vyasa. Anandomaya Vyasa. Always seeking for happiness, because by nature we are
Spirit. So,
spirit, Ananda. We are Ananda actually. Don't you feel Ananda? Interesting, right? We are Ananda, but we don't feel Ananda because we are associating with. Yeah, that is the root cause of our problem. We are associated. But if we associate with the spirit, Krishna, the Achintya, we should be feeling happiness.
satisfaction.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So that's interesting, no? We read so much, and then yet when we ask this question, why am I not happy? You don't ask yourselves? No? Yes? Yes, no?
Sometimes
Some of you ask. You should ask every day you get up, you say, will I be happy today? Why am I not happy? Why is this happening to me? Huh? You think?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, you have to think. You have to be introspective. It helps a lot to become more Krishna conscious. If you think, oh, it's just my karma, I'll just go, but that's not tatenum kampasusam mood. It's a different mood. That's been laxity, not wanting to do something positive about your situation. So when we don't have a good understanding of the philosophy, we will then take the understanding of the philosophy of the nature of the world from philosophers and scientists, because that will seem more appealing, which is part of the reason why there is a lack of spirituality in the world. Because for them, science and the scientists have become the brahmanas and the religion. So that is why they will believe, they will say, just do this, everybody will queue up next day. They'll say, we will give you an injection that will make all of you strong. You'll see everyone will queue up. Nobody will question anything. It could be nothing but glucose.
you have more faith in them.
Yes.
Currently.
Yeah,
They are
people
like high
people
priests.
believe in the news readers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he said that. Tomorrow the weather will be like that. Then the weather you'll see won't be like that. But you'll say, no, he said that. It must be. And if it doesn't happen, you will write it up and say, no, maybe something happened, but he, supposed to rain. Yeah, like that. Because it's bottom line is we don't have sufficient faith or foundation in the practice of Krishna consciousness.
So Prabhu, if we don't feel happiness, what is the reason? That means we are not following it properly, or something is missing in our devotional service?
Yeah. You shouldn't feel just like, in the 5th chapter of the 1st canto, Narada, Vyasadeva wasn't feeling happy even though he wrote the Bhagavatam, but then Narada had to tell him exactly what was missing and why he is feeling that unhappiness, because he wasn't relating to Krishna. Yeah.
Plus anarthas. Plus our offenses, right?
Offenses is different thing. The point is we are not connecting first.
Avidya.
Yeah. So that one other thing. We don't see the other person is connected to Krishna.
Yes, overall also we don't see how each person is part and parcel of Krishna. That is also true. True that anarthas are holding us back, but the point is when we hear what Prabhupada is saying, what are the activities we do to make sure that these anarthas do not become part and parcel of us. That should be there. That should be practiced.
Yeah. So when you see a devotee, you should feel happy.
Yes. It is said in the scriptures. Yes. You should feel happy.
So I had this recent. I was going to Mayapur.
Yeah.
I was in Delhi airport. I was standing there, and somebody said, "Hare Krishna Prabhu," and then he's a Westerner.
Yeah.
Only Devi recognized my Kantimala.
Kantimala, yeah,
and
yeah.
I put tilak.
Yeah,
Right? And that's all. 2 minute discussion. He
Yeah.
doesn't know me. I don't
Yeah,
know. He
yeah.
just came and said Hari Bol.
but he was very happy to see you there.
Happy to see that. But here we meet every day. It's like turn the other face.
Yeah, because that's the saying, right?
Familiarity.
Yeah,
And only
familiarity
acknowledge
is
them.
constant.
Yeah. That's why Prabhupada had a